Hey there, welcome everybody. This is CP Cards and Dice. I did this video last week and there was a big problem with the sound, so I had to redo it. Now, it's a different game, and it's let's take a quick look here I have a 9.7, I believe, inch iPad with iScore free app. And it's the 79 Mets versus the 79 Astros, and it's Craig Swan versus Ken Forsch. We got a heck of a game going here. We're in the top of the seventh. It's 0-0, and the Mets are the only ones with a hit today. So Kenny Forsch is going to be facing Lee Mazzilli, Richie Hebner, and John Stearns. I want to talk a little bit about a couple things, some mods that I've kind of worked into the game. Pretty simple. And also some batting averages for the 79 season so far. This game is August 31st, 1979. This is game 131, so I have actually 31 more games to go for 162. Now, batting averages across the board are pretty close to the actual averages. That's a real good thing. Now, there's one average that's 30 points above, and there's one average that's 30 points below. So that makes sense. So, let's look at that. Let's start off with Frankie Taveras. He was acquired earlier in the season from the Pittsburgh Pirates for Tim Foley. He batted, in actuality, he batted 260. With us, he's batting 251. Lee Mazzilli, in actuality, batted 302. With us, he's batting 331. Richie Hebner, in actuality, batted 255. With us, he's batting 243. Youngblood batted 270, and in the replays, batted 241. Eddie Kranepool batted 210, but in the replays, batting 221, so he's 10 points over. John Stearns is the closest one to his actual average, just 3 points away. He batted in actuality 245. He's batting 242. Now, Doug Flynn is batting about 47 points below his average, 198 in replay, but 245 in actuality. So if you take the points that Mazzilli's batting over, 30, and you give them to Flynn, he's almost batting the same. So the only one that really stands out is Joe Youngblood, who is basically 29 points below his average. Now, Maddox is batting 223, but he batted 270, but he hasn't really played much, and I think he starts playing now towards the end of the season. So then that should kind of even out. So we have to continue following this, but pretty much, pretty close. Now, you have to keep in mind that because of my tendency to allow starting pitchers to go a little bit longer, because I'm trying to avoid like a lot of pitching changes because it slows down the game. So sometimes I just want to play the game and just have fun rolling and seeing results, as opposed to making lots of changes all the time. So I have maybe a tendency to, or maybe, on other occasions I bring in a better pitcher rather than a worse pitcher. So these are all factors that play into this as well, the batting average. So it's not, I know that I'm not always looking for the worst pitcher to go up against, because I'd feel I was cheating. If I looked at the adversary and went through his card stack, and looked for the worst pitchers and said, okay, I'm gonna bring in the worst pitchers. So I try to follow the actual lineups and pitching staffs as much as possible. So that said, now there's a couple of running modifiers that I wanted to add. With all wheelhouse fly balls, I'm going to create a situation where you get the runner ? In other words, runners can advance if you choose to on a roll, comparing the speed of the runner and the throwing arm of the outfielder. So, this is something that needs to happen more often. Guys moving from first to second, second to third on deep fly balls. So this is something that I'm going to be checking up and trying. So it's basically runner ? on any fly ball that's a wheelhouse fly ball. So any 6 or 7 or above, any 6 or above runner at third, I'm going to look at the fast action card type of out to decide if he scores with the infield back. In other words, a 6 or above or better runner is at third base and it's a ground ball to third, he could potentially score if the infield is back. Okay? So we're going to look at the type of out, and if it says ground ball, runners advance, well then he's going to score from third base, whether it's a ground ball to short or whether it's a ground ball to third. What else? What another modifier? Okay, a fast action card question mark supersedes the 2-out automatic runner advance if he's a 6 or better. In other words, whenever you get that question mark, now if you want him to advance, you're going to have to roll. These are small changes that may not come up. You may play 3, 4, 5 games and none of these come up. And the last one is any fast action card out at corners is a line drive instead of a pop-up. So when it's a first baseman or third baseman out, it'll say pop-up right here. It says pop-up. Well, that's going to be a line out, because the pop-ups I have on another modifier that's from the Sideline Strategy Delphi forum. So that's what I want to talk about with the modifiers. I want to talk a little bit about the averages, and I'm going to play the game. We're in the 7th inning. So, and actually the record, let's look quickly at the record here. Record for the Mets, 44-86. In actuality, they were 52-78-1. So we're 8 games below that. Had a lot of tough luck this season, that's for sure. A lot of tough luck. So it's going to be Kenny Forsh. He's pitching in the top of the 7th inning against Lee Mazzilli. We're playing in Houston. Now, the Houston Astrodome is not a ballpark where you're going to be, sending a lot of balls over the fence here. It's like really hard to get a wheelhouse. It's lefties have a little bit of advantage, 1-11, righties are 1-8. So this is not, this park actually, if you look at, historical numbers, barely had home runs. So anyway, we're using fast action cards. We're rolling. Here's the pitch from Forsh. And it's going to be a ballpark situation. 39, that's in play on Mazzilli's card. And it's going to be an 81. That's going to be a fly ball center field. To his right is Poole. And he makes the catch. All right, Richie Hebner. Hebner's 0 for 2. He's grounded out and flat out. Here's the pitch from Forsh. So that's in play. In play 19, that's going to be line base hit for Hebner. Hebner gets a single. Not going to be running. Yeah, I didn't think so. And Johnny Stearns. That's a 10. It's a tough out. 93. A tough 93 is a fly ball, shallow left field. Right there is Cruz, puts it away. 2 down. And now it's Ed Kranepool. Kranepool is 0 for 2. He flat out and grounded out. 2 outs, top of the 7th. No score in this game. Here's the pitch to Kranepool. It's an 11. That's in play. And in play 62. Wow, we pulled a lot of high numbers in this game. That's going to be a ground ball to short, and Reynolds flips to Landis-Doy, and that retires the side. So the Mets leave 1, score none, and at the end of 6.5, it's 0-0. Now Craig Swan is pitching for the Mets. This is a bubblegum wrapper with a caricature of Craig Swan. Pretty cool, and has a little bit of facts. This is from the actual 70s. I bought a set of these on eBay. Craig was the National League's ERA leader with 2.43 average and 78, excuse me. And this was 27 of 33. Bubblegum wrapper. I guess bubblegum was in there, and then it came in a pack of baseball cards, and then that was covered as well. I mean, these are great memories, huh? And it looks like Swan. It's pretty funny because it actually looks like Swan. The pitcher's pivot foot must be touching the rubber as he starts his motion. Thank you for that. So Craig Swan is coming in. He's still in there. No score. He's going to be facing Craig Reynolds, the shortstop. He's a lefty hitting shortstop who versus righty is batted .259. All right, here's the pitch from Swan. That's ballpark. Ballpark 60. That's in play. In play 40. That's going to be a pop-up to the left side. Taveras calls for it, waiting for it, and makes the catch. Terry Poole. Tough 70. That's flied out to Mazzilli in center. Mazzilli's right there. Puts it away. And now it's Jose Cruz. Cruz is 0 for 2. That's defense. Defense to who? Range, second baseman. Doug Flynn's range. Let's see what that is. It's a C. So C 1 to 41 is a hit. And we rolled a 34. That's going to be a base hit. Ground ball up the middle and through Flynn. Just under Flynn's glove. Flynn cannot get to it. And Jose Cruz is on base. Now he's a threat to steal with 36 stolen bases. So a 6 or less, and he goes, and it's an 8, so he does not go. So it's Enos Cabell. Cabell's 0 for 2. He flied out and hit a line drive. Here's the pitch from Swan. It's an 8. That's tough. A tough 75. And that's lined out to center field, and Mazzilli right there, and that retires aside. The Astros lead 1, score none, and at the end of 7, no score. 1979 replay, New York Mets. Danny Norman, Doug Flynn, and Craig Swan in the top of the 8th inning against Ken Forsch. Ken Forsch was 11-6 with a 3 ERA. That's an 8. That's patient 56. A patient 56. It's going to be an out. Fly ball. Shallow right. Running in is Leonard, and he's there. Makes the catch. 1 down. Doug Flynn, he's 0 for 2. 11. That's in play. In play 23, and that's ground ball and through into left field. And Flynn is on with a single. Now, Flynn's not a threat to steal, and he does not go. But he's a good base runner. So now we're looking at Craig Swan, and we're going to pull Craig Swan for pinch hitter. Here in the top of the 8th inning. It's going to be Elliot Maddox. So Maddox is going to come in and pinch hit for Swan. Wait a second. I just realized he's got a no-hitter going. So that's going to change the situation. Oh no, wait a second. The Astros did get a hit. It was the first hit in the 7th inning. That's right. Who had that hit? It was Jose Cruz, medium line drive for a single. Yeah, all right. So we're going to bring in, there we go. Elliot Maddox is coming in to pinch hit. So Swan is out of there. Pitched a heck of a ball game. 1 hit, 7 innings of 1-hit ball. So you got Flynn at first, Elliot Maddox batting. And here's a pitch from Forsch. 7. It's in play. In play 0-1. And that's going to be a liner into left field. And that's going to get cut off by the left fielder. Hustling over to third is Flynn, and he's held up there. It's a double, a pinch hit double for Elliot Maddox here in the top of the 8th inning. And the Mets are threatening now with only 1 out. They got second and third. And it's going to be Joel Youngblood, the leadoff batter for the Mets. Now, we're going to look at the Astros bullpen. and we're looking for somebody who can get us out of this jam. I really don't know who's who on this. Richard Joe Sambito. He's their closer. I don't know if I'm bringing Joe Sambito in, so let me take a quick peek. I'm going to take a quick look at Baseball Reference, game 131, to see who actually pitched in this game. Let's look at the box score. It was Forsh who won this game against Swan. 2-0. Well, I can't get to the box score right now, so I'm gonna keep playing this. You know what? We're gonna load the bases. Intentional walk to Youngblood. Bases loaded, and we're gonna pitch to Frank Taveras. I'm gonna bring the infield in. So we're looking at that chart right there. Bases loaded, infield in, and it's gonna be Frank Taveras. No score here in the top of the 8th, only 1 out. Here's the pitch from Kenny Forsh. That's a 9. That's in play. In play 93. In play 93 is going to be a fly ball to left field. We got a pretty good runner at. So we're going to check the fast action cards to see if this is a short or deep fly ball. And if it's a deep fly ball, we may try to score Flynn, who's a good runner, and against Jose Cruz's arm. Let's look and see what Jose Cruz's arm looks like in left field. His arm is going to be a 6, so a 6 or less is going to score Flynn. Otherwise, it's going to be a double play. So let's see what kind. First of all, we got to see if it's a deep fly ball. We can try that. So let's pull a fast action card. Let's look at the type of out. Short fly to left, and right there is Cruz. Not deep enough for Flynn to try to score. So there's 2 outs now, and everybody holds up here. Okay, so the infield's going to play back now, and it's Lee Mazzilli. Lee Mazzilli, who's the Mets' best hitter. Now let's take a quick peek at what Lee Mazzilli's doing. Lee Mazzilli's batting .328. And he's going to face Ken Forsh. He's swinging from the left side. He's a switch hitter. Versus righties, he batted .302. Versus lefties, batted .306. So here's the pitch from Forsh. 2 outs, top of the 8th. Bases loaded for the Mets. No score. 6. That's ballpark. Ballpark 72 is going to be in play. In play 42. Nope. Gets to 32. This is going to be an out. Popped up. Right side. Landestoy. Oh. I hit grounder by accident. And Landestoy's there, and that retires the side. Mets had an opportunity, but they did not capitalize, and Ken Forsh gets out of trouble. Tremendous job there by Kenny Forsh. Mets are going to have a new pitcher coming in, facing Leonard, Bochy, and Landestoy. It's going to be Dale Murray. Oh, I finally got the box score up. And Andy Hassler comes in and pitches in this game. And so does Joe Sambito and Randy Neiman. So we're going to bring in Andy Hassler instead of Dale Murray. Now, the great thing about Payoff Pitch Baseball is that it comes with like every single player, almost every single player, and then you can buy for a couple extra dollars, you can buy the few fringe players that had just less than 20 innings pitched, less than 20 at bats, that type of thing. I like that because I like to do historical lineups. So it's going to be Hassler. Andy Hassler. Let's find him here. There he is. So we're going to highlight him, save. So he should be pitching now. He is pitching. And he's going to be in the offensively, he's going to be in the 9th spot. All right, let's see. Offensively, he's going to be in the 9th spot. Hassler, boom. You know what? I can pull a double switch. Let me undo that. Let me pull a double switch and pull Mazzilli. Let's see if my boy Maddox can play center field. And he can, and he's pretty good. He's a B range out there. And decent arm too. So we're gonna put Maddox in center field. And pull Maddox in center field. Oh, there. And then Maddox is gonna bat in the 9th. Well, he's in there in the 9th spot. And then the pitcher is gonna bat in Mazzilli's spot. 3rd spot. Pitcher Hassler. So we're pulling a double switch here. And that's it. Andy Hassler's facing, the lefty Andy Hassler's facing Jeffrey Leonard. Leonard versus lefties batted 280. This bottom of the 8th. No score. Mets have 4 no runs, 4 hits, no errors, 6 left on base. The Astros have no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on base. Here's the pitch. It's a tough pitch. See what Leonard can do with it. Not going to do very much with that pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball to short. Frankie Taveras fires the first and gets Leonard by a step. Jeffrey Leonard. Bruce Bochy, or Bochy, catcher for the Astros versus lefties batted 221. Here's the pitch. It's a 5. That's ballpark. Ballpark 06. That's trouble. Versus lefty. Well, he doesn't hit any home runs versus lefties. 1 to 29 is a single. That's an 8. That's going to be a base hit. So right-handed hitting Bruce Bochy singles to left, and he's on at first. And now it's Rafael Landis-Doy, switch hitter, batting from the right side. Here's the pitch with 1 out, runner on first. See if Bochy goes. I doubt he's going to go. It's a 7. Nah, yeah, I doubt he's going to go. He needs a. Nope, doesn't go at all. Doesn't even run. All right. So let's pull Landis-Doy. It's 7. Tough. A tough 72 versus a lefty. And that's going to be a ground ball. Actually, it's line out. Line out to second base. That's the modifier I was telling you about. The last number on the last 5 sections of outs become pop-up, line drive, pop-up to short or second, depending if the batters are righty or lefty, line out to shortstop, and then fly out to left to the left side, which would be the third baseman. So the last 5 digits tell you this is going to be a pop-up to the first baseman, line out to second base, a line out to right, short or second, depending on the batter's batting right-handed. Well, he would pop up to the shortstop. Next to last one is a G6. That becomes an LD6, line drive to the 6, but only on the last number, only on 61, 72, 82, 92, and 99. Only on that last number would that happen, would that change take effect. All right. So it's a line drive to second baseman Doug Flynn for the out. And now it is time to pinch hit for Forsh. Who pinch hit in this game? Danny Heap. Now, I think Danny Heap is an ex-Met. A little bit later he joins the Mets. Danny Heap. I should have him in here somewhere. There he is. Danny Heap had 14 at-bats. So this is a fringe player which I picked up from Joe. at Sideline Strategies, Payoff Pitch. So he actually, there's a lefty pitcher here, and that's a lefty pinch hitter. Let's see if I have a righty pinch hitter. Yeah, they used Jesus Alou. Let's see where Alou is. Jesus Alou was also used to pinch hit, and I don't think he's a lefty. There he is. He's a righty. So we're going to pinch hit with Jesus Alou. Now, Alou is 37 years old in 1979. All right, Jesus Alou. I don't think I've written him in. Oh, there he is. I have. Okay. So he's going to pinch hit with Brochi at first base. Here's the pitch from Hassler, a 7, tough. A tough 12, that's a strikeout, swings through it. And that retires the side. So Alou strikes out, batting for Forsh. And that's all she wrote for the Astros in the bottom of the 8th. Go to the top of the 9th. Kenny Forsh is out. And we're going to bring in Neiman to start us off. Let's look for Neiman. It's great looking at these names. Randy Neiman. Going to face Richie Hebner. There he goes. And he's going to bat 9th. Oh, gotta do that again. Offense, batting 9th. And we gotta do Neiman. Where's Neiman? There he is, batting 9th. Done. All right, Neiman versus Richie Hebner. And where do these guys go? Hold on a second. Leonard, Ochi, Landestoy. There we go. Crick Swan's out. All right. Randy Neiman was 3-2 with a 3.76 ERA in 26 games, 7 games started. Here's the pitch from the lefty. 7, that's in play to Richie Hebner, a 65. And that's a grounded to short. Reynolds to his left, scoops it, throws on the run, and gets Hebner by half a step. Hebner hustling down that line. John Stearns now, he's 0 for 3. Flied out, struck out, and flied out again. That's in play. In play 78. And that's a fly center field. Taking a few steps back is Puel. He's there. And that's an out that's out number 2. Eddie Kranepool. Here's the pitch, 10, in play 23. That's a hit, base hit for Ed Kranepool. Lines one to right, and that's one hop to Leonard, who gets it in. But Kranepool's on at first, and he's a pretty good base runner. Savvy, not speedy, but savvy. Danny Norman. Danny Norman's a right-handed hitter versus lefties, batted .390. He's trouble. Here's the pitch. 9. That's patient. Patient 31. Now that could be a wild pitch, and it is not. The card tells you wild pitch question mark. Anything in the 30s could be a wild pitch. I've seen guys 30 to 36 wild pitch, especially in the more modern era. In this 79 era, you don't see a lot of wild pitches, to be honest with you. I mean, pitchers had a lot of control back then. So it's a 31, and what was it? It was a 9. That's a patient 31 versus a lefty. It's going to be a double, and see what it says here. Double to the gap. Runners advance 2 bases, but with 2 outs. Right? With 2 outs, it's going to be 3 bases. And Ed Kranepool's going to score, and that's going to be 1-0 Mets. Dan Norman, it's a 2-out RBI double, And he's on at second base. Doug Flynn, the batter now. The pitch to Flynn, 10. That's in play. In play 27, and that's right outside of range, hit range. That's popped up. Bochy throws his mask away. He's under it, makes the catch. So it's 1-0. Mets pick up a huge run here in the top of the ninth against Randy Neiman. And it's Cesar Cedeno now leading it off against Andy Hassler. Okay, it's 1-0 Mets, bottom of the ninth. It's going to be Cesar. It's the top of the order. Cedeno, Reynolds, and Terry Poole. Sometimes I call him Puel, sometimes I call him Poole, but I think it's Poole. So Cedeno's going to lead it off against lefties bat at 262. So here's the pitch from Andy Hassler. 6, that's patient. A patient 28. It's going to be a base on balls. So Cedeno is on with a walk. Now he's a threat to steal. We're going to pull a card. It's a 4, so he's going to go. He's a C. Stearns, I believe, is a throwing 3, I believe. Stearns. His arm is 3, so that's going to be the first time I got to look at charts here. Okay, C3 is going to be normal. So we're going to pull a card. I'm going to look at the base stealing section. Normal is stolen base plus an error. Potential error. Okay, potential error, and I'm going to read what that is all about. So a runner, roll 1d6 if higher than the catcher's E rating. If higher than the catcher's E rating, the wild throw into the outfield. So let's see what his E rating is. John Stearns' E rating at catcher is a 3. So let's pull a card. And we're going to look at this number on top. It's a 5, so it's higher than a 3. So it said if higher than catcher's E rating, wild throw into the outfield, runner advances 1 extra base. So this is big trouble for the Mets. Stolen base, and then he goes to third on a throwing error by the catcher. So with nobody out, the tying run is now at third base, which is not good because this is a work night for me. And I've had these situations before. So Cedeno's on at third. Craig Reynolds. Gonna have to bring the infield in. Infield have to be in. With nobody out, he doesn't advance on a ground ball. That's questionable. He does not advance. With 1 out, he does advance. That's how I play it. So here's the pitch from Andy Hassler to Craig Reynolds with the infield in. Tying run is at third base. It's 1-0, bottom of the ninth. It's a 10. That's patient. A patient 0-4 is a base on balls. So Craig Reynolds walks. Again, the infield is in. Trying to stop the tying run from scoring. All right, we're pulling the card. The pitch from Hassler. An 8. That's in play. An in play 96 is going to be a fly ball to right field. Now, is this going to be shallow right or deep right? Let's see what happens. It's going to be a shallow fly ball to right field. Nobody will score. So 1 away now. Oh. So Terry Poole flies out to shallow right. And who did I say was at first? Craig Reynolds may try to steal. Stay out of the double play. Let's see. Let's see if he gets his jump. He does not, because that's a 9. So now it's going to be Jose Cruz with the infield in again. Infield is in because if I don't do that and I try to keep half the second baseman shortstop halfway for the double play, I may not get it. Maybe a grounder. You know what? I'm going to bring him halfway. I'm going to bring in the second baseman shortstop halfway and leave the third baseman and first baseman in. All right, so let's see what happens here. So up the middle, they're trying for the double play. may be crazy, but we'll see what happens. We need a strikeout. That would be perfect. Here's the pitch from Hassler. 6 is patient again. A 10. A patient 10's a base on balls. Bases loaded. Now I gotta look at the bases loaded card. Bases loaded, infield in. And I can't take Hassler anymore. I mean, he's got tough at 7, tough at 9, tough at 11. I've just been rolling all patience, so I'm not going to give up on him. But it's a righty, Enos Cabell. I'm going to stay with Hassler. And here's the pitch from Hassler, infield in, 1 out. Yeah, we're going for the run at the. We're going to try to get a double play home to first. Here's the pitch. 7. 7 is tough. That may or may not be good. That's a strikeout. So Hassler strikes out Cabell, which is huge with the bases loaded. 2 out now. So the infield goes back to regular depth. We got 1 more out to get for the Mets to win this ball game. It's going to be Jeffrey Leonard. Jeffrey Leonard batted .280 against lefties. Bases loaded. Bottom of the 9th. Mets are up 1-0. The next card is going to decide the fate of this game. Andy Hassler, 4-5 with a 3.70 ERA. Pitched in 29 games for the Mets. Had 4 saves. He'll win this one. He'll win this one if he can hold, if he can get Jeffrey Leonard out. He will be the winner. Otherwise, it's going to be a tie ball game at least. Here goes. It's a 4. A 4 is patient, and that's trouble. A lefty patient all the way to 50 is going to be something that's going to give Hassler a headache. So we want to roll higher than 50 here for the Mets, lower than 50 for the Astros. A 12. A 12 is a base on balls game is tied. That's ball 4. Hassler was so close, but yet so far. So it's tie ball game, and it's let's see if we had a pinch hitter. Yeah, we already had a pinch hitter. We're gonna let Bochy, who batted .221 versus lefties, we're gonna let him bat. Here's the pitch. It's a 10. That's patient again. A 30, a patient 36, and that's the base hit. Walk off. Bruce Bochy. Game over. Mets lose another heartbreaker as usual. Boom. Wow. Andy Hassler let us down big time. We exit out. We put in the winning pitcher was Randy Neiman. The losing pitcher was Andy Hassler. The final score was, the line score was the Mets 1 run, 6 hits, 1 error, 7 left on base. The Astros won it in the bottom of the 9th, 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 6 left on base. And that's all, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you soon with games. This is a 3-game set with games 2 and 3. I don't know if I'll broadcast any more of these games. I may just broadcast the first game of the next series. And that's it. All right. I hope any comments, leave me comments, give me thumbs up, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care.